On one side is a death row inmate, and on the other, a female police officer. They accidentally collide with each other. And with her body's allure and professional skills, the female officer tries every possible way to escape from the inmate. But justice cannot resist such a powerful and captivating beauty. Now, let's follow this classic movie. The lone death row inmate. Both are on a mission for the crime boss when, unfortunately, the police stop them to inspect. Santa tries to explain that his car tires are still fine and everything is okay, but accidentally reveals his gun. Sensing danger, the police immediately point their guns at Santa's chest. Behind them, two men appear and shoot, killing Santa. Hearing the gunfire, Denny quickly jumps out of the car to find his friend but is hit by a bullet from the police and one of the strangers, who also kills the officer to frame Denny. Later, the court sentences Denny to 35 years in prison for the murder of a police officer. The police immediately transport Denny to Mira, a place that holds the most dangerous criminals on the planet. Halfway there, the police stop to rest and get some air. Seeing an opportunity, Denny grabs a can of oil, strikes the officer on the head, and escapes into the desert. Unfortunately, he is hit by a stray bullet and after a while hides and moves on. Denny temporarily escapes, finds a wet cloth, soaks it in his shirt, and squeezes water from it to drink, surviving the immediate danger. In a nearby town, some have nothing to eat, while others complain endlessly about the poor food. His girlfriend decides to leave, refusing to eat. As she sulks, a hand suddenly grabs Gita from behind. Gita screams for help. Seeing what happened, her boyfriend rushes out but is knocked out by a punch. Denny seizes Gita, steals a car and a gun, and drives away. Soon after, the police arrive at the scene, checking the bag and questioning the boyfriend. They learn that Gita is actually a police officer. Using her skills, she tries to lure Denny to seize the gun. But it's not that easy. The experienced young man, hardened by life and death situations, is not so easily fooled. After half a day of travel, Denny abandons the car and continues moving into another town. Welcome to my hometown, he thinks. He finds Santa's wife, recounts everything, and promises to avenge him. He borrows some money from her to survive. Seeing Gita's sexy outfit and hot body, he struggles to control himself. So Denny decides to buy her a pair of jeans and a jacket to tone down her allure. Denny points a gun straight at Gita's chest, warning her that if she tries to escape, she'll get hit by the bullet. The two move to a nearby inn to recover, but a few police officers are already there. Denny threatens Gita with the gun, but using her professional skills, Gita kicks Denny's leg and calls for help. Denny reacts in time, restrains her, and threatens them while escaping with a police car. This time, the young man seems more experienced, taking a less crowded route because the girl is dangerous. Finally, they reach an inn to spend the night. Exhausted from traveling all day, Gita asks Denny to let her shower briefly. He obliges. After all, it would be unbearable not to clean up after such a long journey. When Gita steps out, Denny handcuffs them together. I need to rest for an hour. If you try to escape, you're dead, he warns. Denny places his hand on Gita's waist and falls asleep. While he sleeps, Gita tries to seize the gun, but due to a nightmare about her friend Santa, Denny wakes up in time. They continue their journey. Seeing that Denny doesn't seem entirely bad, Gita starts asking questions. Denny explains that Santa was his only brother, while transporting smuggled cars for the boss. The police blocked them, killed Santa, and framed Denny. He vows to go to the boss's house and kill him in revenge. He tells Gita she's free and leaves her behind, running straight toward the boss's house. Gita goes to a nearby bar to ask about the boss's location. I'm a police officer on duty and need to borrow your vehicle, she says, without papers. No one believes her. The young man grabs her, but she kicks his face, steals a motorcycle, and rushes toward the boss's house. After some travel, Denny arrives at the boss's house with a gun, ready to strike. He breaks the window to enter but finds only the boss's wife. Fortunately for the boss, he is absent that night. While working for the boss, Denny had previously been involved with his wife. She seductively recalls their past encounters. Outside, Gita arrives and sneaks in, accidentally seeing a photo of the boss. It turns out he is a retired police general, which explains his immense power. Jita makes a noise, alerting Denny. Denny grabs the wife's keys, and together with Jita, they speed away on a supercar. They ran to the crime boss's supercar storage, and his wife immediately called him to send people to respond. Having worked here before, entering and exiting was extremely easy for Denny. Hearing a noise outside, Denny dragged Jita to a safe position and handcuffed her to an iron bar. Jita gradually realized what was happening and tried to persuade him with a worried face, saying, "For Denny's safety, you can leave now, and I will stay silent about everything." But Denny replied coldly, "This must be settled today." Denny, holding a gun, moved into the center of the workshop and called the manager. "I will burn this entire place down. Send people to shoot." But it wasn't that easy. Denny had prepared explosives to ignite the first supercar. As the car went up in flames, the manager seemed to have a heart attack. Its value was $500,000. Denny sneaked into the center where the smuggled supercars were kept, burned a wire to drop an iron bar, causing panic below. The group pointed their guns upwards, unaware that everything was part of Denny's plan. Denny slid across the conveyor belt, holding two guns, shooting at them. The enemies fired back, but Denny moved, grabbed an M21, dodged bullets, and shot to eliminate threats. He hid under a car and blew off one man's legs. The remaining man frantically shot, hitting paint barrels. Denny sprayed fire, igniting the barrels, burning everything inside. He continued to destroy the remaining supercars. Suddenly, a man jumped from above and kicked Denny in the face. Denny drew a dagger hidden in his shoe and stabbed it straight through the man's throat. He started a supercar and rammed it into the fire, causing a massive explosion that destroyed all the vehicles in the warehouse. The manager was now sweating bullets as millions of dollars went up in flames. At that moment, Denny entered and pointed a gun at the manager's head. Outside, the boss and police were present to ensure the manager's life. The manager handed over all the boss's criminal data to Denny. Meanwhile, Jita managed to break free from her handcuffs. The manager saw the opportunity and tried to escape, but Denny had already secured the important data. Instantly, the boss fired inside, hitting a police officer with a bullet because he overheard secrets. Jita witnessed everything but, alone and unarmed, could do nothing. Seeing the police approaching, Jita ran to explain the situation, but they didn't pay much attention. She decided to go inside, grabbed a gun, and pointed it at Denny's face. "Don't shoot anymore. I'll protect you and testify for you." Just then, Denny and Jita saw the boss shooting, and Denny immediately returned fire before running toward his supercar. Unexpectedly, a young man waiting in the car appeared, kicked Denny in the face, and repeatedly punched his stomach wound. In the midst of this, a bullet hit the young man. It was none other than Jita. Now, they officially became a team. Both started the supercar and sped away. Denny added a few bullets to the fuel tanks, creating a temporary explosion that blocked the police and the boss. Jita asked Denny to tell the full story. He recounted, "Santa and I were transporting smuggled supercars for the boss when a police officer blocked us to steal the delivery money and tried to silence us. He shot Santa and the officer, but I survived." The boss's wife was also present and discussed the matter with her husband. Danny might return to his hometown. Hala, the boss, surprised, asked how she knew. Jita explained, and the boss angrily confronted his wife and began chasing Denny with the police. Denny skillfully drove the supercar, dodging a helicopter above and even picking some cactus to eat. Despite his cold demeanor, Jita admired him. Inevitably, the death row inmate and the righteous female officer shouted at each other, attracting attention. Two young men in a boat arrived, but Denny, holding a gun, saw them too late. He continued driving. The police spotted Denny and tried to chase him, but with the supercar, their vehicles were left behind. However, the boss and his bodyguard, driving a high-speed supercar, caught up. At a fork in the road, Denny and Jita maneuvered past a truck, causing their pursuers to lose control and crash. They ran up a rocky mountain. Denny touched Jita's hand and said, "Hide behind this rock. I'll take care of these two and come back." He climbed to the top, preparing for a shootout. The boss and his bodyguard moved into his line of sight. Suddenly, Jita appeared from behind and shot at the boss. But the bodyguard shot her in the leg, making her fall. Denny quickly shot the bodyguard. The boss ran to threaten Jita, pointing a gun at her head. Denny, caring for her, surrendered. Jita kicked the boss in the stomach, grabbed the gun, but he blocked her. The boss aimed to kill her, but Denny jumped from behind, saving her and pushing the boss. Denny fell off a cliff but landed on a rock below, saving his life. The boss moved toward Jita, aiming his gun, but Denny pushed him aside, causing the bullet to hit the bodyguard instead. Denny kicked and punched the boss, then lifted large rocks, this time meant for Santa. Just as Denny was about to kill him, the police arrived in time, armed with the boss's criminal data and the testimony of the beautiful, brave Jita. With this evidence, Denny was declared innocent by the court and officially released.